working because I just got the message.
Yes.
Content is being taken to a third party.
I think it's
Yay!
working. I think it's working. I think it worked. Let
It says
me
meeting is now
see.
streaming live.
Yay, yay,
Yay,
yay.
we're
We are
live.
here and we are live. Welcome, everybody, to our basic foundations of card making Zoom craft along. So we have a couple of our members here today. We've got Margie and we've got Erin. And of course, we have the lovely Rose and myself. And we are here to craft with you again today and show you some basic tips of card making. So you're all probably thinking, why does it say March craft along? Because of course I was missing in action for the March craft along, so we had to do it in April. So this is actually for last month, but anyway, we've got lots more action-packed things happening for the month of April. So everyone is going to be absolutely blown away by what we're actually teaching them this month. So welcome everyone. Everyone say hello.
Oh,
All right. So Rose, we haven't asked about this. Are you going first or am I going first?
well, I'll go first if you want.
Okay,
I'm
it's all
kind of,
good. I'm
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 kind of.
ready to go. So it's up to you what you want to
All
do.
right, go ahead. You go first.
Okay. I think
I
I
went
think
first
we
last
went.
time.
I think I threw you under the bus last time, I
You
think.
did, so I'll throw you under the bus now. Go right ahead.
Okay, you can throw me under the bus. That's totally okay. All right. So, of course, this month, hang on, and I spotlight myself for everybody. This month, we have been using some gorgeous designer series paper and creating some really fun cards. So it has been a great, fun month so far. So I have got out my designer series paper, some of what I've got left, and I'm going to do a fun technique. Now, in your kit, you won't have any acetate, but I want to show you that when you actually open up your stamp, when you have a brand new photopolymer stamp, you will have this thin sheet of clear plastic, but then you'll have a thick acetate sheet. So you can actually pull your acetate sheet out of your stamp set and use the acetate sheet. So I've actually cut a couple of little strips of designer series paper, and I did a video similar to this yesterday on my live video yesterday, and people were just absolutely amazed at the effect of what you can do by just putting strips of designer series paper onto a sheet of acetate. So I've cut a card base here ready to go, and I haven't cut the other pieces because I wanted to do those in front of you so that you can craft along with us. So I just want to tell you these strips. So this is a really great, fantastic thing if you're using up scraps of your designer series paper. These strips are 1 inch wide by 3.5 inches long. So it's going to fit whether you're in an American card base size or if you're an Australian card base size. So I do have to tell you the measurements for those, and you will need 3 of those. So they're 1 inch wide by 3.5 inches long, and you'll need 3. Now the acetate sheet that I have cut that at 4 inches by 3 3/4, I think. Yeah. So 4 inches by 3 3/4. And it's very hard for you to see that, but it's just a clear sheet of acetate. So what we're actually going to use, now we did teach everybody about the difference of our adhesives. Now my adhesive for choice when I'm going to do this is definitely my Seal Plus, because, and you can choose to rotate these and have different patterns. So you can use the reverse side and the front side depending on what we do. So I might change it up and actually do that and use the reverse side as well. So I'm just going to run a bit of Seal Plus down that, and I'm just going to, the idea of this, and sometimes it's better to put it on a piece of cardstock so you can actually see your acetate a little bit better. I'm just going to adhere the left-hand side one first, leaving a little bit of a border. Then I'm going to adhere the right-hand side one so that then I can put the middle one and have even spacing in between. So I'm just going to add some Seal Plus onto the back there. And I'm going to adhere that one on. And the beauty of Seal Plus is, well, hopefully, that I can pull it up and reorganize it, because I did that one a little bit crooked and I'm nearly going to ruin it. The love of live video, isn't it? There we go.
I just go with it. It's
You
all
can
good.
see all of our trials and tribulations. See, we're not perfect, so don't ever think that we don't make mistakes, because we do. And then I'm just going to eyeball that in the middle and pop it on there. So I end up with that. Okay. So then I'm going to use our black layer out of our card templates, and I'm going to cut my berry burst that went with your, no, it's not berry burst, it's melon mambo. I'm going to cut it to the black card template size.
And we might want to mention to anybody that's watching that's not in the actual basic group, we do have videos of templates both for our sizes in the US and Donna's sizes in Australia. And that was part of the beginning classes in January and February. So it's not too late to join. If you join the basics of card making, you will still be able to see those videos and get
yes,
those templates for our card making.
we give everybody access to those every month. So when you, so don't think that just because you haven't been in it from the beginning that you're going to miss out. We actually have that in each Facebook group so that people can understand what we're working from. Then we're going to take our berry burst layer and we're going to cut our berry burst layer out of basic white. Okay, so I have my melon mambo and I have my basic white. So the black layer and the berry burst. So I'll leave those up there so you know what were the two things out of our template that I used. Now for this one here, I'm actually going to pop this up onto dimensionals onto the front of that basic white layer. And the beauty of it is we can hide the dimensionals in behind our strips of designer series paper, but we can still get that to pop up. So it's going to give it that 3D look. And I was only saying these dimensionals are out of a kit. And I was saying how the kit dimensionals feel really spongy compared to our normal regular dimensionals. They feel softer. When I go to take the backings off, I'm like, yep, they're definitely dimensionals out of a kit. I just take the backings off with Rose's tip with our
There you go. I
take the
just
pick
looked
tool. She taught me this years ago, and I can tell you it was a game changer. You collect them all on your tip and you can put them in the bin, and I don't have a bin beside me, but anyway. So before I actually add that, I'm going to use my liquid glue and I'm going to adhere my basic white layer onto my melon mambo layer, and please tell me my glue is going to work. There we go. Oh my Lord. I'm having a lovely morning this morning, aren't I? Things aren't working. There we go. All right, so my go-to glue for anything is my liquid glue. I love that wiggle room. We can wiggle it around with our fingers, get it really nice and even on the front there. Now, I could even stamp something a little bit exciting in the background here. Let's stamp. We've got this cute little heart. Sorry, I do wing things a lot, so I'm winging it a bit here. Let's use this cute little heart. And I will grab out my Melon Mambo ink. Now, I would typically have stamped this before I adhered my layers because of that reason there. See how I just half stamped that, but that's totally okay. Let's see if I can line one up over the top. Watch out with my head in the way here. Just lined it. Oh, look at that. Nearly perfect.
It is perfect.
Okay, so I'm just adding a few little hearts just down the sides because when I put this on, it then gives a little bit of fun decoration down the side. So I'm just going to pop that on the front. And then hopefully I've got the glue open that worked. Maybe I don't. Maybe it was this one. Yes. All right, so I'm just going to adhere that to my card base. And how awesome is that? We have like a floating panel on the front there. So
like
it looks
that.
like those pieces of designer series paper are just hovering in the air. So I think it was, I think it's just a really fun way of doing things. All right. Now I'm going to stamp the thinking of you, I think, on the front here. So let's grab that. And we did teach everybody fussy cutting this month. So fussy cutting is something when we don't have dies that can cut things out. And when you're first starting out, there is no reason why you can't do a nice big bold sentiment on the front and then just fussy cut it out. Let me use the best of this white cardstock. See, we're making sure that we're using the most we possibly can. I could have stamped it that way, but now I've got this whole big panel that's still left over that I can use. All right. So now fussy cutting was one of the things that we wanted to teach everybody, and making sure that when we fussy cut that we move our paper and not our scissors. So you squeeze the blades of your scissors as you go. And I like when we've got a straight lot of words here at the bottom, I actually like to give an arched piece to each letter, just to stop that from looking really dead straight along the bottom. So always moving your paper. If you've got heaps of paper in the way, cut it off, remove that, and then go again. Because sometimes when you've got your scissor blades and your hand leaning up against that paper, sometimes it's really hard to get that paper to move the way you want it to move. And I think it's something that a lot of people say, I don't want to fussy cut. I hate fussy cutting. That's a nightmare. But there's times where we don't have dies and we have to fussy cut. So, all right. So I'm actually going to do that now. My members got some beautiful gold ribbon. So I think what I'm going to do is just tie a large big bow underneath this thinking of you. Wow, what is it with me this morning? I'm struggling doing everything.
Well, it's pretty early there for you.
It is.
The,
And I
the
can tell
time
you
difference,
after the
time
day I
difference
had,
is crazy.
sorry?
I said the time difference between us is crazy.
Yeah.
It's Thursday night here and Friday morning for you.
It's Friday morning, 8:17 a.m. in the morning here for us in Australia. Or for in Queensland, it's 8:17. In New South Wales, it's 9:17. But after this weekend, after Easter weekend, we will all be on the same wavelength, which will be really nice. So I'm just going to use a little bit of Seal Plus there. I'm going to pop my bow into there. Then I'm going to pop up my sentiment. So I wanted the bow just to tuck in underneath my sentiment there. I'm going to pop up the sentiment. And now you will realize that there is 2 layers of popping up here. But you know what? When I want to pop something up, I really want it to have full-on dimension. So I don't mind. You're going to pay extra to post it anyway because you've popped up a layer in the first place. So you may as well pop up 2 layers and pay the extra. On there like so. All right, now I had some leftover strips here for my insert. So I'm going to stamp, and fingers crossed I stamp this really, really well because there's no second chances on this because I haven't got an insert. But I could, if I mucked up the stamping, I could possibly cut an insert to go inside. So I want to do that. And then I've got, these were just left over when I cut my 1-inch pieces. And I'm just going to adhere those on the other side there just to add a little bit of a feature. So it brings a little bit of the front to the inside of the card. So one there. I'm going to flip that one over and have the back side like I did on the front. So really my card is really all about having those little gaps in between some strips of designer series paper and just the great effect that it can give. And of course, we have some of these cute embellishments. So I'll pop a few of those around. So with my handy dandy take your pick tool, I think I'm going to use these light pink ones. Slide them off. And you can just pop them on to your project. The putty tool on the end of your take your pick tool is awesome. And you can actually get replacements for I haven't admitted poor Maureen. She's been waiting in the waiting room. Sorry about that. That's what happens when you're crafting. We had a member here that I hadn't let in. So we have a putty tool on the end. You can get a replacement. So this screws out and you can buy a replacement. But I can honestly tell you, I've hardly even replaced my putty tool. I mean, like I've been using it and using it and using it. So I don't think you would need to buy a replacement very often. But there you go. There is my cute, easy, fun card, but using your acetate out of your stamp set. So I thought, what a perfect way. We all have a photopolymer stamp set that you got at the beginning. And I'm sure that most of you have photopolymer stamp sets that you can use your acetate sheet. So there you go. And now I will
love it.
take my spotlight off and we will go to Rose. And there we go. Okay, over to you, Rose.
Alrighty. So I'm gonna, and it's funny because Donna and I don't really talk about what cards we're gonna do when we do this craft along. And the good thing about today is we're actually doing different things. So you're learning a few different things today. I'm going to grab my thick basic white. I'm going to cut that in half, but I'm going lengthwise. And for this, it's, I guess, a little bit of a fun fold for you today. So I am going to make sure that's snapped in first. I'm going to go ahead and score that in half at 5. What is that? 5.5. Yeah, I want to do it right. I'm going to bring that in and I'm going to take my bone folder and give it a good burnishing. And then I'm going to go right back in this way. So this is the way that it's opening. I'm looking at my iPad thinking that's on and it's not. I'm going to go right into 4.25 here. And I'm going to give it just a light score. That gives me a marking, maybe a little bit heavier than that, just so I can see it. So I don't know if you can see that little score line, but that's what's going to tell me where to put my glue. Now, like Donna said, she likes, her go-to is the liquid glue. I do use liquid glue, but my favorite is my Stampin' Seal. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to close that up. And I just want to make sure I'm in camera view good. And then I'm going to fold that back. So again, with the basics of card making, we're into, well, this is actually the 4th month, but it's really the 3rd month. We're still working with March. But you can hop on and join our basics of card making. If you're in the US, you want to click on my link. If you're in Australia, you want to click on Donna's. But you can join globally. And you can do that through either Donna or I. You won't get the products that we send, but you can join. And each month you'll see 4 different cards, 2 from me, 2 from Donna, a technique maybe. You get some product in the mail. And we have a lot of fun. And again, we have the templates that we have done in prior classes, which you get every month. We put those back in the class.
That's so funny, Rose. You and I have stored them the same way. I've got mine in my die packets as well.
Yes, this is, I keep everything in here. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to take your Flirty Flamingo from the template, and I'm going to use a different paper, I think, here this time. Let's see, I think I'm going to use this one. And I am going to take this. Now, remember, my card's going that way, so I want my paper to go that way. I am going to bring this in at 4 inches because that's the template size for the Flirty Flamingo. And I'm going to swing it back around there. I'll just put that over here for a minute. And I'm going to layer that right on top. So that fits right on top. I am going to grab my stamp and seal. I'm going to layer that right there. Now, the only thing we don't have, and we don't have a template for this, but so I'm just going to cut a strip. And I need 1 inch. So I'm just going to cut 1 inch strip here. And then I'm going to turn it around, and I am going to do that at 4 inches. And I want the back side of that paper. So that's the same paper, but it's the back side. And I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. Just like that. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is from our other template that we had done the first time, I'm going to grab the boho blue. So I'm grabbing that in white. So let's see. And again, like Donna said, any kind of paper that you can save. I have a piece of white here. You want to save as much as you can. So we're going to cut this one at the balmy blue or boho blue size.
And the reason why we are saying the template size, just the colors, so that we don't confuse you with the measurements, because we have done the templates in the basic card making group to your market. So where you are. So if you are in the US, you have Rose's US measurements. If you're in Australia, you have my measurements, but we are using the same color so that you know that when we go to create cards and we say we're using our black layer, we're using our berry burst layer, you grab your template out, and it has the measurements on the back of them. So you know exactly what size to cut your cardstock.
Exactly. Thank you for clarifying that, because that is true. We don't want to confuse people. So we go by the colors, not the sizes. I'm going to bring this in, and this is a little technique. Stamping off. It may not be new to some of you. It's probably one of the first things I ever learned. And what I'm going to do, well, first I'm going to take my thinking of you. And I thought it was funny, Donna, because you use the same sentiment.
Because we're thinking of people at the moment.
Yes, I'm going to put that in right in the center. And then I'm going to take that little leaf. I'm going to stamp off, and all the way around, I'm going to add some light and dark colors here. I don't want it dark, so I'm stamping off each time, because I want this to be the darkest. I want that to be the focal point, which is my words. So we're just going to do that.
See, another thing that's been brought to my attention here with Rose doing this stamping around the edge and creating a pattern like that, even if you don't have pattern paper, if you have stamps and you have images, you can definitely create your own pattern paper by stamping just in different colors, stamping off using 2nd generation, 3rd generation. You can get different tones in that color by not re-inking and re-stamping. So don't think you're limited if you don't have designer series paper. You can create your own.
Absolutely. And if you notice here, this is gorgeous grape, but if you stamp it off a couple times, you're actually getting like almost like a Highland Heather.
Yeah.
So I am going to take that leaf again. Now I'm going to cut it stamp it full strength. And yes, you guessed it. We're going to do a little fussy cutting.
Because that was our focus last month, was fussy cutting.
Yes, it was. And I will be honest with you, for anybody that's watching and saying, I hate fussy cutting, I was probably the same way. I'm like, I'm not fussy cutting that. But I have found the same thing, Donna. If you don't have dies, just fussy cut it. And to be honest with you, I kind of like it. I think it's, I don't know, relaxing.
And I think that's it. I think we just have to not have that wall up saying, I don't want a fussy cut, I don't want a fussy cut. Give it a try, and it takes practice, like, so it's not something that you're going to be brilliant at overnight, but there's always opportunities. And I know when we bought out, we had the Spotlight on Nature stamp and die set. The dies were amazing because we had these beautiful round circle dies, but of course the flower in that stamp set had no dies, and everyone's like, why do we not have dies for it? And I'm like, people just fussy cut it. So there's times where we don't have matching dies that it lends to fussy cutting. So it's something that I think people really need to try and just practice and get on board with it, because there's always time in card making that you end up fussy cutting something.
Oh, absolutely. And I'll tell you, when I'm in my craft room here by myself during the day or at night, and I got the music going, and I actually do a lot of fussy cutting then. And sometimes I actually get carried away because I'm listening to the music, I'm in the zone. And before I know it, I'm like, oh, I didn't need that many. Okay, well, I'll save them for another project. But also, these are pretty easy stamps to fussy cut.
I know most people tell me that they like to fussy cut when they're sitting in front of their favorite TV show and just relaxing,
Absolutely.
and have it sitting on your lap in the lounge room and just fussy cut away.
Okay, let's get that little piece out of there if I can. He doesn't want to come out, and I don't want to get too close. Okay, so now I have these two little guys here, and I am going to flip those over, and I am going to grab some dimensionals. And yes, I have my minis. And, I have to be honest with you, I was one of those people that were like, mini dimensionals, I need bigger ones. But mini dimensionals come in handy so many times. Yes, you can cut your larger dimensionals, but those minis, boy, they just really, well, I don't want to do that yet. It would help if I put my sentiment on. I'm talking and I can't do two things at one time. But anyway, I was great for cutting my dimensionals in half. And let me tell you, the minis, they're awesome. And you can see I'm doing my little trick with the take your pick tool. Donna, I have to tell you something funny. I did this when I was on stage in Raleigh, and I did the picking thing. And the my DDM, Elizabeth, said to me, "Oh my God, the staff members in the back said, we didn't realize you could do that."
So you taught everybody that,
I
and
taught everybody on stage. I'm like,
I
yes.
remember when you were telling me about it, and I did it, and I was like, well, that has just changed my world.
So I'm just putting those on top there like that. Now, my group got this ribbon, and no matter what ribbon or what designer series paper got in the mail, you can do this same card. And this is I gotta say, I know I say it all the time. Oh, this is my favorite ribbon. This really is my favorite ribbon. I love this ribbon.
The bows are
I was so
gorgeous because you can fluff them up, can't you? Like,
oh yes. I was so happy to see. I still hoarded some of the silver. I
the
have it
silver
in
one,
one of
yeah.
my drawers. I won't use it because I'm like, no, then I won't have any. I want this. I like this one. And you notice I'm cutting it rather large. That's the other thing I like about this ribbon. You can actually lay this off your card and it still fits in the envelope. I don't want it quite that big, but I do like to make large bows with this ribbon. And I am going to use my stamp and seal. And normally you would think you would put it there, but I am actually going to put that right over here. And then you see how it just layers right over that fold?
Beautiful.
And I am going to trim that off just a smidge. And now the one thing I did forget was gems, but no worries. I'm sure I have a gem or two somewhere here. I'm actually, there we go, taking this off that other one. So I have two gems here. We'll use those. That's what I get for cleaning up my craft table before we started. So I have a couple little gems on there. I have a nice little card. Now, when you open it up, thinking of you cards, I don't put sentiments usually on the inside unless it's something specific. I like to write my own note. And again, here we're going with the stamping off, but now I'm using full strength and then going down.
And one thing you have to note about when you're stamping off like that, when you've got the edge of your cardstock and you're going to re-stamp, be very, very careful that you stamp, because it will create a line on your stamp.
Right
So
there.
be very, very careful not to move over in towards your card too much because you will get that definite line.
Right.
So when you're going to stamp off, as you can see, roses are a little bit,
Yep.
when she's stamped off, they're a little bit off the edge, a little bit further off, because to make sure you don't get that line.
So I'm going to stamp that so they can see the line. There's the line. So
Yeah.
then what I'm going to do is I am taking that right back, stamping it off. I'm going right back in there. And now I'm doing stamping it off, going right over those dark ones to make even a prettier border. So that I have 2 rows of the flowers, the darker ones and then the lighter ones. And again, let me just show you what Donna was talking about. Now, if you're stamping on the edge, you have that line there. So if you stamp this again, you're going to have a line right there. That's what Donna was talking about. So you want to be careful with that. And then there you have a quick
Beautiful.
little fun fold with a little fussy cutting
And how easy was that? And
and a
look at the
little
gorgeous
stamping
card.
off.
Very nice. All right. Well done, Rose. Now,
Well,
I wanted
same to
to
you, Donna.
I wanted to chat to you about I might just we'll spotlight both Rose and I. Oh, where did I go? I'm up there. Um there we go. Okay. So thank you very much for hanging out with us. I just wanted to talk to you about what all of our basic foundation members are getting for this month. Now I'm still waiting for my order to arrive, so mine probably won't go out today. They'll probably go out on Monday. So I do apologize to everyone, but of course, it's been crazy weather for us here in Queensland. If it's not boiling hot, we've got floods and cyclones and you name it. So now we've got floods. So
Oh
um,
my gosh.
a lot of the
Crazy.
yeah, a lot of the postage and things have been held up and aren't getting through as often as they should. So I do apologize. So what you're going to get, and I just wanted to show you what the members are getting this month. We are going to give you 2 sheets of thick basic white. We're going to give you a sheet of colored cardstock, and this is just to add a pop of color to what we're doing. You're going to get a full wink of Stella. You're going to get a sheet of basic white for your layers and for your stamping. And you're also going to get a sampling of this gorgeous black and white paper. And of course, we have the back side there. Okay. Now, the reason why we chose this paper, and you will get a length of ribbon and some embellishments to bling it up. Now, the reason why we chose this black and white paper was because we want to show you a coloring technique. Now, you don't have to have blends. You don't have to have like aqua painters or anything like that to do watercoloring. We can actually color with our Wink of Stella. So we want to show you some coloring techniques on this gorgeous black and white paper, how we can actually dress the paper up by adding a spot of color. And the beauty of when you color with your Wink of Stella, you get glimmer and shine. So your coloring is even better than using blends. So that's what we're going to be concentrating on for the month of April. Some coloring techniques using our Wink of Stella and actually getting the best out of our Wink of Stella, showing you how you can use your Wink of Stella and tips and tricks when using our Wink of Stella. So they will be going in the kit in the post for my ladies and gentlemen on Monday. So they will be arriving soon. So
And for mine, I will send you out the black and white paper, which I forgot to put in the kit. So no worries. I will get that out tomorrow because I have to go to the post office because I did get my pre-order in
yeah.
and my catalogs, and I need to get rid of, I shouldn't say get rid of them. I need to send them on their merry way. They are taking up too much room in my craft room. So
Now, if you
I will
are
get the black and white paper out.
yeah. If you are interested in joining our basics of foundations of card making, the links are in the description of this video. So on Rose's video, you will see the links in her description. They are also in the description of my video. You can click on those links and head on over and register. You won't be getting April's kit, but you will be getting, starting in May, you will be getting May's kit. So every month we send off a little package, a surprise package of products that we use throughout the month and create. Now, in our group, we have other things that go on in our private Facebook group, other than what you see here on the last Friday of every month. So we do have a Zoom get together the last Friday of every month, which it will be normal for the month of April. For the month of May, it won't be, because Rose and I are going to be traveling around and I won't be home the last week in May. I will still be overseas. I'll still be in America. So we will have to organize another time for that. But thank you for hanging out with us, and thank you for crafting with us. So we've got a couple of comments over here that there
Okay,
is Cynthia.
one thing I want to clarify. When we do the craft along, it's Fridays for Australia, but it's Thursday night for the US.
Sorry.
I know it gets confusing, but we always do it Thursday night for the US, which is Friday morning for Australia.
Yeah. So we have Cynthia S that's on here, and she said about my card that she likes how it floats and she'll have to save her acetate from now. She said that she loves watching your demos. It's like looking into the future. It's Thursday evening during the hour of 5 p.m. for her. So yeah, I always say, I already know what's ahead of you. I mean, if you want to know what tomorrow's like, just ask me. I can tell you. I'm already there. So yeah. Awesome. So and I'm sure that when Rose and I are on our incentive trip together, you'll see some great photos and things of us together, because I can't wait to see Rose and give her a big
Oh, I
hug,
can't wait to
because
see you either. We're gonna have so much fun.
in Disney World, people, we're gonna have
Disney
fun.
World
So yeah.
doesn't get any better than that. Well, unless you're in a casino. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, well, you have luck when you're on incentive trips. No, it wasn't
Yeah,
incentive trip,
yes,
it
I
was
do
backstage, wasn't
sometimes.
it? Yeah. Anyway, so thank you very much. So if you are interested in joining our basic foundations of card making, now just remember, if you're brand new to crafting, if you haven't crafted before, or if you've been crafting for a while and you've missed those basic foundations of card making and you're struggling with your card making, this group is really for you. And yes, we are doing simple things because it is called Basic Foundations of Card Making, but there will be tips and tricks that you will learn along the way. And I can honestly tell you, the templates have changed people's world. They really have. The amount of people that have said to me they're saving so much on cardstock now because they're not wasting it. There is so many things that you will learn in this group. So if you're interested, please reach out to us. We would love to invite you into the group. For my ladies here and gentlemen here in Australia, it costs $50 per month. So what is yours per month, Rose?
It's 35 in the US.
Okay. And that's equivalent to what we pay here in Australia.
Right.
So don't think I'm charging you way more than what Rose is. It's because Rose's US dollars compared to our Australian dollars are totally different. So yeah.
Yes, it sounds like it sounds like it's a bit what we try to do whenever we do anything together is we figure out what the price point is, and then we figure out what the same amount is in Australia or vice versa, what the same amount is, so that the people are paying the same amount. It's just a matter of whether it's Australian or it's US dollars. So.
Yeah. So thanks for hanging out with us. We are
Yes,
actually going to
definitely.
stop the live stream now. So thank you very much. And we will see you all again next month at the same, this month. I keep forgetting we're in April already. We will see you all the last Thursday of the month for the US people and the last Friday of the month for our Australian viewers.
And we'll post that in the Facebook group and remind you. And then I think Donna does the same thing. If you're in my group, if you're in the US and you signed up under me, or if you're a global member that signed up under me, I send you off an email with the link and with the time, for the US. So,
and just remember, people, that when we are oh my Lord, what was I going to say? It just went straight.
You need more coffee. Grab your coffee.
we create a new Facebook group every month for this. So when you are an existing member, a subscriber, we invite you all into the new group every month. And I do apologize because I haven't created the group for April yet, but I will get it done. By the end of this weekend, it will definitely be done. And you need to remember that each month it is a brand new Facebook group. So you need to be getting into that brand new Facebook group to find it. Now, I've had people that ask me, where's the Zoom link? How do I find this, it's all in that Facebook group. So please make sure. And I mean, for Rose, the people that she has that aren't on Facebook, she sends off the links and things to them
Right.
via email as well. So so just so you don't miss out, because there's so much in that group that you're missing out on that you need to be in there. So, all right.
And also because now we're getting into the real meat of things and more techniques and more,
It's starting to step
maybe a little,
up. Yeah.
yeah, it's stepping up now. So you really don't want to miss anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to say goodbye to the live people. For the people on Zoom, you can stay here. I'm just going to stop the live stream. Hopefully I'll get it stopped. So bye everyone on YouTube land.